There was a bit.
What we have seen is the last 3 arrows of Mikey's last match were the most convincing 3 of the 15 that he shot. So maybe he can just accept his loss and go on with the last end.
So Mike Schloesser starts the compound men's individual bronze medal match, and he's clearly disappointed with that 9, making a change to his sight.
And although Mizuki is shooting against Mr. Perfect, he is actually the one this week shooting 2 150s back to back in the elimination rounds. So he is very capable of shooting a very high final round. So good recovery. His first 9 he was definitely not happy with, but then he shoots through 2 really good shots after that. Or I remember, was it the World Cup final last year where it was just raining down on him.
So Schloesser starting in number 2, just 1 behind, but that's the 3rd 10 in a row.
I was going to mention how long that shot took, and I think it doesn't matter too much to him if his shot takes a little longer, but there is limits to how long you want to have your shot take.
Well, Mizuki followed the pattern that he shot in the semi-final against Bazanski, 3 10s to start with and then a 9, and he followed that up with 4 10s afterwards.
He's looking more like the Mike we know now.
On the circuit, if we can rely on Chef Vandenberg's computer-like brain. And that standard is continuing to be high here in the compound men's bronze medal match. All square between Schloesser and Mizuki.
That was really quick, but I think he realized that as soon as it went off.
Mentioned it earlier on, that recovery and not dwelling on a bad shot. Schloesser immediately started thinking about the next one.
Yeah, and he acknowledges the fact that it hit slow because it just went off low, which is an important part of it. So acknowledgement, acceptance, and no judgment. I think if you get those 3 things in order, then that's a very good first base for mental performance.
Mizuki, by contrast, just has to keep nailing the 10s. Not worry about what Schlosser's doing. Another 29 for him. Number 4 of the compound men's bronze medal match between Schloesser and Mizuki. Schloesser trailing, shoots first.
long hold again. Yeah. So I feel like there's a threshold for him where he can hold it a little bit longer, but if it's too long of a hold, he just starts spraying, and yeah, doesn't hit the middle anymore. The easy solution would be just shoot faster, but there's a reason that he's holding it for that long. There's a reason that the shot doesn't go off. So, like sitting on the couch looking at the screen, it's like, why don't you just shoot it faster? But yeah, there's probably a very good reason for him to hold it a bit longer, and if he just forces it to go faster, then that doesn't really help anyways. So he needs to go to the root of the problem.
Mr. Perfect goes perfect to keep the pressure on. A 10 required to stay level.
For Mizuki, I would say, have some faith in your shot, rely on your training, and try to keep up the rhythm. Don't try to do more than your best, because that will not result in hitting the middle.
Target again. There was a big flinch. And he pits it, dropping just 2 points throughout the whole match and beating Mike Schlosser onto the podium, 148 to 146.